like blending in with like now, let's say like German kids who are like just there? Was there any bullying, picking of,
I mean,
I don't know.
to be honest, I think there's like multiple things because I think most of the racism that I experienced through the kids was not actually by the kids. It came through the parents, you know. So it was
Ah,
like, you know, the kids didn't really have an issue with me, but then like the parents, you know, they kind of like, oh, you know, there's a black kid in school, and then they talk with the children at home, and then they say something, you know, like it was more that it was more kind of feedback that was like, you know, given to me, like, you know, weird comments, and I never really.
what's weird comments? We don't know what that means. That means maybe she's extra energetic. Maybe you win all the races when it's time for racing. Yeah.
No,
So
it's
we don't
like
know.
you know, it's just like always like these like ignorant questions. You know, like people would ask me if I like, you know, if I took a towel, if like the color would come off or shit like that. You know, and you would just be like, "Are you serious?" You know, and then you always have these people who kind of think that you're like a different person as anyone else on the planet, and they think you're immune to all the kind of things that everybody experiences. And everyone was like, "Oh, but you can't get sunburned, right?" And it's just kind of like, oh, yes, I can. You know, like why wouldn't I? Like, you know, like it's
Yeah, I'm
just
still
skin.
human.
It's
I'm
like
still
literally,
human. Yeah, I'm still
literally, you know.
human.
And
Uh-huh.
and I had really short hair when I was younger, and that was always like a really big
So
thing for me.
short, kinky, like Kenyan hair, proper,
Yeah, like
and
proper, and everyone always thought I was a boy. You know,
oh,
like,
I've seen
but
the
they were
baby
actually,
pictures you've
yeah,
posted like
yeah,
on your. Oh, okay, okay,
exactly,
okay.
yeah. But they honestly, like, everyone always thought I was a boy, and that was really annoying. But I mean, yeah, there were also like downright proper racist comments. You know, like especially when we went more into the like
Teenagehood or like when you're a teenager or even when you're still young,
no,
young.
younger,
Really?
younger. It definitely became
What kind of
progressively
comments are we talking
like
about?
literally like people calling you the N word. You know, like people acting super weird around you. Like if I remember, we went on this class trip in the east of Germany, and this is
Yeah.
something I will never forget, and I never want to go there again, and I won't. But everybody, you know, you walk down the street, everybody's staring at you, like everybody like talks super weirdly to you. Then they think they don't that you can't speak German, and I speak German like
Oh, that's
perfectly, you
wild.
know.
So
So,
I'm just imagining like when you start speaking and they're like, what?
but not only that, you know, I start speaking in German, and they talk back to me as if I'm an idiot, you know, and like you can tell that I'm a, you know, like native German speaker, and
Yeah.
they talk back to me as if I'm an idiot, or they're like, oh wow, that's so great. Oh, your German is so good. I'm proud of you. And you're like, you don't need to talk to me as if
Yeah,
I'm, you know,
you
like
don't need to be proud of me either. It's
exactly
just
like
like,
put the patronize, you know,
yeah,
away.
yeah.
So, and then like yeah, especially like east of Germany is not a vibe. I don't recommend, like, you know, literally and even like children like screaming the N word and shit, and you're just there like
But even if it's in that extent, they don't like hurt you, do they? Like, do they do physically hurt you?
no,
So it's just words.
it's words,
I
yeah.
don't take that. I don't take that.
A
Because
win for the team.
it's scary when you
Yeah.
know like somebody can
Yeah.
like corner you and
Yeah,
like
yeah.
kind of kill
That's
you
true, but
or
I think also
harm you.
I was like, I was privileged to be surrounded by people that also took care of me, you know, and were very protective, because there were also many cases when we were younger of like outright violent racism, but like in other parts of the country and in other
Yeah.
parts of the city, you know, not where because Berlin is still like the capital of Germany and
Yeah.
like a multicultural city, so you know it's a bit more difficult there. But like there's definitely areas within Germany where there were, you know, black people being like harassed and beaten and shit.
Because for my case, I can say like, and I will just go back to that just to like kind of try and get my feet wet. Like I did my first Euro trip last year, and I think it was Germany one of those first stops or second, I think after Amsterdam. And it's just, I don't say German was a weird country, but I just didn't understand. Everybody was too serious. It didn't look fun at all, and it was kind of chilly when all the other countries was kind of like hot. So I'm guessing even for you, like you just grew up in slightly cold weather.
Fucking
then,
cold.
But
Like,
how's the culture though? Because that's what I'm trying to get at.
I
Because like for
think,
me, I just didn't. I
yeah.
didn't have any fun in Germany. I was just like, what do people do here?
Yeah.
Because everybody seemed serious, driving
Yeah.
or walking, headphones. I mean, nobody seemed to be like, you know how in Kenya, everybody's
Yeah, everyone's
smiling
so
at you,
open
right?
and friendly.
It's
Yeah, I
like,
know,
even if
exactly.
they don't know you, it's like,
Yeah.
if you make eye contact, someone is smiling at you.
Yeah.
I didn't see that in Germany. So I was
No,
like,
that's true. I think like it's more of a like definitely reserved, you know, like social culture. But also I think it's a generational thing, you know, as in like when I was growing up, you know, most of, you know, if you go to stores or you go, you know, you have your teachers and everything, they're all from a completely different generation than my generation is now, you know. So when I go back to Berlin now, I see huge differences, you know, like everyone is much more chilled and cool and open, you know, and those are the people around my age, maybe a bit older, but then also like the older generation, like 40s, 50s, they're still very much like that, you know. But I think it's more of a generational thing rather than it's still also like a national, like, you know, German
it's
thing.
kind of their thing, right?
It is.
I just thought they just
but also
don't
like
smile.
very much generational.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then now just back to now, like your parents. Because like I said, you're growing up with white parents. Listen. And how was it like? Do they now, like, because now you're adopted, do they discipline you? Are they like African parents? Do they smack you when you do something wrong? Are they like you go to the naughty corner? What's the culture there? Like, what kind of parents were they?
I mean,
Because I could see they're slightly, from the pictures you posted, they seem like slightly an older couple.
yeah, definitely,
right?
yes.
Yeah. So how was it like just growing up with them?
I mean, they were definitely strict, but I think more in a sense of German strict and not African strict.
Yeah.
And quite disciplined, like especially my mom. I love her, but she was, you know, she was very like
Strict.
exactly,
Yeah.
like this has to be done and it has to be done this way, and if you're not back at this time, then you won't be going out for the next week. You know, like that kind of stuff. So yeah. But I think, you know, as a child especially, you always look around and then you always think everybody has it better, you know. So I definitely remember when I was in school, like I always felt my parents were the strictest everywhere, and my other friends could
really?
do anything, you know.
But
and
them to you, they're just like, maybe that's also because they know like you're kind of like, you know, different from the other kids, so they have to protect you way more, and they may have to make sure everything that you're doing, it's much better to like the standards that maybe. Did they push you?
No, not really. No, because like academically,
If
I
I
was.
have a black kid, she's doing all the sports. You know that, right? I'm not paying
I
for
know,
anything.
no,
It's
yeah,
scholarships all
exactly.
around. You know that, right? You know that, right? Yo,
Exactly.
plus she's Kenyan. Hey, you're doing track, whether you like it or not.
My sister was actually quite athletic.
Really?
Yeah, she was. She was. She
Nice.
stopped at some point, but she
Should I
was
help
pretty
you with
good.
that?
No,
Or
it
it's
was
okay?
actually I know how to open.
Hey, you know, in this century, I don't want to be that guy. Imagine I can't even open my own water bottle.
True.
No. So you're saying back to like just, you know, the culture, parents.
Yeah,
raising
no,
you.
the thing is like they didn't really like when it came to academics and school and
Yeah.
everything, they didn't really push me. They always like they actually left me a lot of freedom, which I think is actually the good balance, because they were kind of strict when it came like to socially, you know, to social things, especially my mom. But you know, when it came to, you know, like education and like things that I wanted generally to do in life, hobbies, sports, music, they were always very supportive and always gave me the freedom, which I know other kids did not have. You know, like their parents would, you know, they would come home and then it would be 2 hours of homework. I never did my homework.
Yeah.
But it's still okay. I still graduated well, so yeah.